All right.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi everyone, this is Suzanne from Mosaic Oasis. I'm here today at the studio with my assistant Pam. She's filming. Today we spent the day making undulated surfaces for mosaics. And I'm going to tell you how we did that. So first of all, what you need, materials you need to get this screening material. You get this at the hardware store. I bought it in a big sheet. And you can get a couple different sizes. You want to get the size where the grid are 4 millimeters apart, or 1/8. 4 millimeters is about 1/8 of an inch apart. If you get the grids closer together, this won't be sturdy enough. And if you make it further apart, you'll have trouble forming it, and your thin set will fall through the cracks, and you don't want that. So you need your grid, you need your screening, you need the tin snippers. And these are really important because I made, as you can see on the table, we made a bunch of 8x8 square substrates. And you need to cut the screen. So these, the snippers work really well. See how easily that cuts through? Cuts just like butter, cuts right through. These, if you might have some wire nippers, these are really difficult. You'll spend a lot of time. You'll hurt your hand, you'll get cut. So don't use those. Get yourself a decent pair. They're not that expensive. They're at the hardware store. Then what you need is some wax paper to lay your pieces down so they don't stick. You need thin set, very important. You want white thin set, and I'm using the 153 gold Latacrete. I just like it because it's smooth and you really want white. You also need fiberglass mesh that you've already cut up into little square rectangles, and you need scissors to cut them up. And most important is you need paintbrushes. You can get, they don't have to be expensive, get the cheap ones from the hardware store. Don't get the foam, get the ones with the little bristles, because that's what you're going to use to paint your form. And as you can see, I have the thin set already mixed up. It's a little thicker than you would normally use when you use thin set, because you're going to spread it, you're going to kind of paint it on your form. So I have a form here. It's already shaped, and we've just made, I don't know, we've made about 13 of these, and we just shape them into different shapes. And then we put our mesh, sticky mesh, we just laid it right on top. And the most important thing about the sticky mesh is, the reason you're using sticky mesh is to make the grids, the holes, smaller, because you want the thin set to stick through. And you don't have to be super careful. You just lay it down. You can overlap so that you make all those grid lines just smaller. So now that I have my sticky mesh, see the sticky mesh, and only on one side I put the sticky mesh. You could put it on two, but I found it was kind of a waste of time. So I have one layer of sticky mesh. Now, let me see, I'm just gonna ask my assistant Pam, did I forget any materials? You get all the materials, good. Now, I'm just gonna start to paint. Oops, I'm painting this onto my undulated surface. And the most important thing is to make this smooth. So I'm just painting it. I have gloves, that's another thing you might want, just so your hands don't get dirty. And I'm not gonna finish painting this because I think you get the idea. You kind of just have to work at it. It doesn't really take too long. We did all of these this morning. And after you paint it, it will look like this. So we're gonna let these dry overnight. And tomorrow we're gonna go back. We're gonna go over them again and just hit the edges. I'm gonna paint the edges. Still making sure at the end, I'm gonna make sure it's all nice and smooth, because when you put your tessera on, you don't want any bumps there. So I'm making that nice and smooth. I've got some edges here. You really only need like 1.5 coats, I would say. You don't need to put on a whole bunch of coats. This is really quite firm. And so the finished, this is a finished one with 2 coats on it. And it's ready now for the tessera. And remember, if you have any little pieces, spots showing, that's okay, because you're gonna use thin set again to add your tessera. And your final, so I did a final one. Here's what my final piece looked like. Anyway, have fun with your undulated surfaces.